What's going on? It is Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide? Good morning. It is SEC Media Days in Atlanta. It is Monday, July 14th. Thanks for kicking it with Kyle this morning. I appreciate you guys being here. Here's a schedule of this week. Got it listed from Monday through Thursday. Alabama at the podium. That is not a double Tuesday. That should be Wednesday. I'll get it updated in just a second. But Alabama at the podium on Wednesday. I appreciate you guys being here today. Monday, you got LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Appreciate you guys. Let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. On Tuesday, you got Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas. Wednesday, Bama, Mississippi State, Florida. Oklahoma. Thursday, Kentucky, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. I was just listening to Brian Kelly, and we'll go over each of the teams today that are at the podium: LSU, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vanderbilt. I have some questions for you guys, and I actually want to figure out from you guys who the best quarterback out of those teams is that is returning to this coming season. Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, at the podium today earlier this morning. I'm sure you maybe watched it on SEC Network and all of the coverage, of course, on SEC Network. He was asked kind of about the overall talent, about how many conference games the SEC should play in comparatives to, the Big Ten. I think that when you play in the SEC, and as you'll continue to see, it's an absolutely loaded conference. Any of the teams that you want to go from top to bottom, it's a gauntlet. And I think, like, listening to Brian Kelly just now at the podium for LSU, look, at the end of the day, you have your playoff formula, how the teams make the college football playoffs, but the wins and losses are completely different unless you get into, the SEC is absolute gauntlet, period, from top to bottom. That's why I think, like, Alabama is certainly going to be a better team this year, but overall, making the playoffs is still going to be difficult, right? And then, but before I get to LSU, and I have one thing that just popped up on my radar regarding Nick Saban. How do you feel? Just be thinking about this, all right? You don't even have to answer now, all right? How do you feel about conference title games? Because I think that could hurt you. Imagine if you get to the SEC title game in the gauntlet of the SEC, and then you somehow lose that game. I don't know. I think that I don't know if you eliminate those games in the future. I don't know. This just came on my plate. Did you see this? And I'll give you some shout outs in just a second. Good morning to everybody. Let everybody get checked in. So Greg McElroy just said something that look, Greg McElroy knows. This guy is, he's in the know. There's a circle of trust, and I think Greg McElroy's in there. Did you see what he said this morning about Coach Saban? He said that he knows somebody in the know that says that Coach Saban still, wants to be coaching college football and would coach college football. What do you think, the champ? Blissful Love, what do you think? Max Tooney? Let me ask everybody, eyes up, inside the comment box, yes or no, do you think that Coach Saban comes back to coach in college football? Type yes if you think so. Type no if you don't. I don't think so. I'm going to type no inside the comment box. I don't think so. Look, could he still coach college football? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, he could. But this is what's going to stop Coach Saban from coaching football, okay? All these crazy rules and the wild, wild west of coaching. The transfer portal and the pay me to play me, that's what's going to stop Coach Saban, period. That's why Coach Saban left. That's why Coach Saban left, because it got to a point in the world of college football where we are at right now, that if you don't play me, you don't like me. And I think that's probably, it's sad to say, but I think it's definitely probably for 60% of the players. Coach didn't play me. He don't like me. Right? So I don't think so. I'm going to say a hard pass on this. Look, Greg McElroy is certainly way more in the know than me. But I just think you kind of looking high level at things, I think Coach Saban, college football, if you want to use this as an analogy, it was kind of like about to crash into a mountain. And Coach Saban saw that when they were at 35,000 feet. And whenever he got to a good cruising altitude where he could jump out, he ditched it with a parachute and landed on an island that has a golf course and is now, kicking it with ESPN, and he's doing his thing, right? So I certainly think that college football did change. I think there's more parity, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there's never been a time that college football has been more interesting. I mean, for the last time that I covered college football, there for 8 years, while Coach Saban did nasty work, just as I said on that recent video on people, it was boring. I knew people, like, I live in Tuscaloosa, so it was so sad because people knew, they didn't even know who Alabama was playing. They would get excited for like Tennessee because that's a rivalry, the Auburn game. But it was so sad because it was like, Coach Saban just go beat up on everybody. Now college football is more exciting because of the transfer portal, because of the rules that, the pay for play. It's going to be absolutely challenging for anybody to win a national title. That includes Alabama, right? So, but does Coach Saban step back in that arena? No. Has he lost his competitive edge? No. It's just, it doesn't make sense, and he's living his best life. Plus, how much is he making for ESPN? Could a college program pay him what he's making right now? I don't think so. I mean, the guy's making so much money at ESPN, living his best life, and plus, he looks healthy. He looks absolutely healthy. All right, let's see who's up in the show today. Alyssa, what's up? Good morning to you. I appreciate you being here this Monday. The Champ, what's up? Young C, good to see you. Kaylin D-Boss. Daniel Adams, what's up, man? Max Tooney, Herman, I appreciate you. Twan coming in from Naples, always representing Florida. Let's see. Alex, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. Funny story about Alex, okay? I always like to get to know the people, my family inside the comment box. So when we first started doing the raffles, and I'm going to show you the raffle for today in just a minute. But I was like, you guys, if you guys win a raffle, send it back to me, right? A picture of you guys wearing the gear. All right. So you guys know me, got the beard with usually the flat brim or the hat, right? That's kind of my look. So Alex, you right? You know what I'm talking about, dog. So Alex sends me a picture, right, of him in the gear. He's the first one. This is way back. He won the Ryan Williams gear. It was a jersey from Athlete's Thread. He sends me a picture. We look like twins. We look like cousins, brother. It was crazy. Man, Alex, that was wild, dude. I'm still thinking about that. So what's up? Good to see you, man. Bruce, what's going on? I appreciate you being here. Anita, what's up? Chris G, up in the house. BJ, good to see you, brother. Sean, the Explorer, what's up? Robert Bradley Jr. Nicole, what's up? Anna, good to see you. Good morning. Micah, Jeff Stapleton. Yes, Jeff Stapleton's here. Dan Caraway, my main man. Good to see you. All right, let's see who else. Kaylin Childress. If I don't put your name on the screen, don't hold it against me. Jarvis, what's up, man? You're absolutely right. Miss Terry, there's no way she lets him coach again. Fran, what's up, man? Bama Hater up in the building. Good to see you, brother. Good morning to you. Blissful Love. And, yeah, we got a good squad. Sam Anderson, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. And Marvin says it's a perfect morning. Hell yeah, it's a perfect morning. Because I feel that when we start to get to SEC Media Days, it's kind of like a kickstart. Like, we're that much closer to the season, right? And, of course, this next segment, powered by our good friends at Sonic in West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 connect. So if you're cruising through the great state of Arkansas, go to the Sonic, tell them you're an Alabama football fan, tell them you're sad that they don't have the same type of college football program that Alabama has, and then get yourself a cherry vanilla Dr. Pepper and, I don't know, a smash burger, and then dip out. All right, listen up. All right, so this is kicking off the raffle today. All right, this is a $5 entry, so $5 to get in. Venmo, Bama _YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. All right, for this hat, this is from Athlete's Thread. So this is part of their Hide the Tide collection. I like this. I think someone's won it before. I can't remember. So if you want to get in, raffle is officially open today. Bama_YouTube, Cash App Bama YouTube for the hat. I'll show it a couple times throughout the show. And then we'll have a big ticket item probably Wednesday when Alabama hits the podium. All right. Jarvis comments that I look like an assistant with the hat. Anytime, this shirt is from Walmart. And this is one of my favorite working shirts that I have. It's super light. Caden told me that he doesn't think that the logo is going to last long because it's just like a iron-on sticker. Don't be hating on Sonic inside the comment box. There's a Sonic by our house. The only problem with the Sonic is that most of the screens are kind of, those are big screens to manage, right? All right, so get into the raffle. This is the Alabama tree-tied camo script A hat. That's what we're doing today. So that's the raffle. And now we continue with the show. Look, we're going to go over, because I have some questions for you regarding SEC Media Day, right? And the first team that we're discussing is LSU, all right? So listening to Brian Kelly and a lot of people outside in the world of college football think that this team has what it takes to really put a title together, like a title run. So let me ask you inside the comment box while I talk about LSU, spend a few minutes on each of the teams today. Do you think that this LSU team, this is my question for you, do you think that this LSU team has enough talent to legitimately win the SEC, if not make a run at the national title? If you want to watch the SEC, the coaches at the podium today, it's on the SEC network. I was just watching Brian Kelly before I popped on. Look, they hit the transfer portal very hard, okay? Garrett Nussmeier comes back. He's one of the most touted quarterbacks in college football. 4,000 yards, right? Whit Weeks on the defensive side at linebacker, 120 tackles. They have a couple of defensive components that they got from the transfer portal. Harold Perkins comes back. Chris Hilton, Aaron Anderson, wide receivers. They have a really good running back. I mean, look, this LSU team, you look at Brian Kelly, 29-11, 9-4 last year. But as we kind of high point LSU season, right, or throughout the last couple of years, 9-4 last year, 10-3, 10-4, 6-7, 2020 COVID year, 5-5, and then before that they won the Natty. I don't know. I mean, look, this team, I think this team has a lot of pressure. I really do, and I think that clearly they play Alabama. I'll put their schedule full screen here in just a second, but I think there's a lot of pressure here with LSU. I wouldn't say that there's any he's clearly not on the hot seat or anything like that, but LSU has the components to be very, very dangerous, okay? Absolutely dangerous. The problem is this team, for whatever reason, they do not start out well. And as you can see at the top right of your screen, they play Clemson, right? They go to Clemson. I think a lot of people forget that game. That's one of the better games in college football as a kickoff, right? Two really good quarterbacks going at each other in Clemson. I don't know. Jarvis, what's the line on this game? So you go to Clemson. Okay. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they lost this game. Now, if they win this game, they'll have a lot of momentum. I don't know. Dabo Sweet, nobody's ever talks about Clemson anymore, period. I don't know who wins. Does Clemson beat LSU in the opener? LSU seems to always kind of come out of the gate stumbling. Then they got Louisiana Tech. You got the Florida Gators. That's going to be a tough one. Southeast Louisiana, the Lions coming to town. Then you take on Lane Kiffin. Yeah, I don't know. So Clemson's favored by 3. Thanks, Jarvis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I figured they'd probably be favored. Okay, let's see. This is actually, you know what? This schedule's kind of tough. This is a good schedule for them because, look, you got Clemson on the road, Florida, who will be good, right? You got to deal with DJ Lagway. You got to deal with Austin Simmons at Ole Miss. Then you got to deal with Lenore Sellers. Then you got to deal with Diego Pavia. Yo, this schedule's hard. Finally, like this, and this is what we're talking about with like a good SEC schedule. Texas A&M. Then you go to Bama, Arkansas. I don't know how many games. Look, how many games is LSU going to win? I could legitimately see them losing to Clemson, Ole Miss, South Carolina. I mean, they probably beat South Carolina. I don't know. Bama. That's 3 losses right there. They even go to Oklahoma at the back end of the season. You know what? That back end of the season game against Oklahoma, I could see that game being like 130 to 130. This team's going to lose games for sure. No, they're very capable and they're a dangerous team, but they're going to lose games. That's a hard schedule. That's a hard schedule. Yeah, I mean, Dan, the only thing I'm seeing about Florida is that game's in Baton Rouge, but those are going to be hard games. This is a good schedule. It's tough. And it's tough kind of throughout, whereas I feel Bama's, gets hard in that meat of the schedule and then the back end, but this one's hard. This is a good schedule for them. All right, South Carolina. This is a team that I feel is very underrated. I really do. Shane Beamer, he's pretty quirky type guy. But 29-22, and I think last year we saw what he could really do, right? 9-4 on the season. This was a very good team. Clearly, a lot has to do with Lenore Sellers. 2,500 yards last season. Very dangerous dual threat quarterback. One of the top quarterbacks, in the country. This is a tough team. As you know, Bama goes to South Carolina this year. DQ Smith has 37 tackles. They're bringing their big defensive tackle to media days. I don't know. I mean, it's been interesting to see where South Carolina has been ranked in kind of some of these preseason rankings. They've kind of been down a little bit further. We'll go full screen so you can see their roster. So you got Virginia Tech. That game's actually a neutral site game at Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. Was that SC State? Is their second game. Then they got Vanderbilt on the road in Columbia taking on Missouri. You got Kentucky. Hey, they should be unbeaten at this point in time. They should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They should be 5-0 going into that open week. Have an extra week to prepare for LSU, right? Then you take on Oklahoma. Then it get, oh my goodness, yo, is that you talk about a meat of a schedule? Look at this. You go LSU, Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M, and then you end with Clemson. Man, you better hope that things are taken care of in the front end, because that back end, that's tough. Let me ask you a question. How are you feeling about Alabama versus South Carolina? Which kind of like your concern level about going to the road, Columbia, playing against South Carolina? Scale of 1 to 10. I'm not gonna lie, mine's kind of high. Okay, Kendrick, what's up, brother? I see you inside the comment box. What's your concern level about going into the South Carolina game? That's October, like the back end of October. Scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably say like a 6. Fromm is straight. He's like, we're good. Sean's 0. Gaines is worried. It's a little bit higher. Chad's low. Mine's high. I don't know. Foggy, what's up, man? Saying the SEC. You know what? What's crazy? I'm more worried about this game than I am about LSU coming to Bama. Do you feel the same way? I'm more concerned about going on the road to play at South Carolina against this young man than I am about Garrett Nussmeier and LSU coming to Bama. I'm actually not really worried about that LSU coming. to Tuscaloosa. I don't know. This game, they got a hard schedule too. Bradley Custom Designs. What's up, bro? Thanks for getting in the comment box. Hey, Caden, if you're back there, we're trying Caden producing in the back. He's just messing around. He's here today. Could you see if you could put up a poll and put it like this? More concerned to play LSU or South Carolina? See if you can put up a poll. More concerned to play LSU or South Carolina? I'm going to say South Carolina. So anyways, that's their schedule. I think this team, I don't know where they finish in the SEC, but I know that they're going to be really good once again. Another team that will be at Media Days today on Monday is you have Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. They return some key components for sure. They're going to have a new quarterback, Austin Simmons, who I think is very good. Alabama does not play Ole Miss this year. They don't even play Mississippi State this year. This is a team that a lot of people aren't, when you look at SEC overall, kind of high point it, people aren't talking about South Carolina and people aren't talking about Ole Miss. Now, Lane Kiffin stays in the news because he's, a master at trolling people on social media and he's a damn good coach. But I bet you he likes flying under the radar. Lane Kiffin is 44-18 at Ole Miss. Last season, they were 10-3. Some good components coming back on offense. I guess my question for you regarding Ole Miss is, do you feel that Lane Kiffin has kind of outgrown the brand of Ole Miss? Like, I think Lane Kiffin will definitely coach somewhere else. Thank you, Jarvis. We just said the same exact thing. Exactly, bro. I think that, like, with Ole Miss is like what they have, I think this is as good as they can get. Period. I think they've kind of reached the max, and I think he needs to go to a bigger program to win a national championship. Hey, Bradley, I appreciate you, dog, man. Thanks. That's the first super chat of the week, man. Thank you so much. We'll put you in the raffle, too, as well, bro. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I mean, there was once talk that Lane Kiffin was going to go to Florida, and then Billy Napier started coaching out of his mind towards the back end of the season, and here Lane is once again at Ole Miss. I still think he's an amazing coach. I think a lot of Alabama fans, you would love to someday see him back. Let me ask you this, okay? Just be honest with me. One day, who knows when it happens, whatever. Could be 10 years, could be 5, who knows? Can't tell the future. Would you like to, let me ask you like this. Do you think that Lane Kiffin somehow down the road finds his way at Alabama? I mean, he's a young guy. What is he like? I don't even know if he's 50 years old. I think he's like 48. Do you think that he somehow finds his way back to Tuscaloosa somehow? Like way in the future? I don't know. Jarvis saying no. Wow. Case saying no as well. Think that ship has sailed. I did for a while, but I guess I'm going to say no as well. I think some people would like to see it, but no, I think it's done. Because remember, like when I first moved here, everyone thought that the coach to replace Coach Saban, whenever that was Dabo Swinney. And then when Coach Saban did retire, nobody wanted Coach Dabo Swinney. And I think that's kind of what's happening with Lane Kiffin now is I don't think people, want Lane Kiffin. down the road. And plus, you got a good coach already, and Coach Kalen DeBoer. You got to see what DeBoer is able to do, now that the tracks are laid. Period. Blunt conversation, straight up saying no. Thanks for being blunt. Here's a look at our raffle today is this. I'll go full screen on this. It's an Alabama tree-tied camo script A-patch hat. Athlete's thread. Retails $35. If you want to get the gear of like the players or whatever, you can go to Athlete's Thread. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. That's just where the gear is at. You can also go to Team Fanatics. That's where I go. So this is the hat that we're doing. Wade's World got you in the raffle today. Thank you so much. Super chats will work as well. So thanks, Wade. Appreciate it, bro. But a way to get in the raffles is, other than super chats, is you can Venmo, Bama_YouTube, or Cash App, Bama YouTube. And we'll do a big ticket item on Wednesday. I don't know what that is. Usually the jerseys are pretty good. People like the jerseys. This is a damn good question. Wade's World, what's up, dog? Kyle, who is LaMarcus Fox, and why don't we ever talk about him? Dude, so what LaMarcus Fox is talking about, he's talking about the video game, right? College Football 26. So there's a player on defense that's been here for 2 years that is LaMarcus Fox. And LaMarcus Fox is talented. I play with him. Who is it? Is it Hunter Osborne? Who are they saying it was? I can't remember who they said it was. I just play with him. I don't even care. And for whatever reason on my game, I don't know why, I have a tackle. I think his name's Bubba Thrasher. That plays over Wilcom Formby. Rocket Sound wants the camo hoodies. Which ones are you talking about? From Athlete's Thread? Like the full camo one? Yeah, maybe we'll bring one of those out. For big ticket Wednesday. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, so if you want to get in the raffle one more time, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube, you know what to do. Super chats work as well. All right. This is what their schedule looks like for Ole Miss. Let's take a look at it. All right, Georgia State, okay, win. Kentucky, you win that game. Arkansas, you win. Tulane, you win. LSU, you're a big underdog, but the game is at home, so who knows? I don't know who wins that game. That game probably has 200 total points. You beat Washington. That's weird. Ole Miss and Washington State are playing. Okay, you win that game. Okay, so right now I have them with one loss at this point in the season, all the way up to October. Then you go to Georgia. That's tough. Play Oklahoma. That'll be it. I could see them losing like 2 of those games for whatever reason. Then you go to South Carolina. That's tough. So you got a 3-game stretch. It's really challenging. The Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State on the back end. I mean, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have them at 9 wins again. Joe is asking about the camo stuff with Ty. That's at Athlete's Thread. So any of the camo stuff that you see Ty wearing, that's at Athlete's Thread. From Asa, Alabama football related question says, Kyle, have you heard anything health status wise on Keon Sabb, Deontay Lawson, Quay? Yeah, I think all those guys are good. I think they're all good to go. Deontay Lawson, that will be the first question that he's asked on Wednesday, is kind of his, health status, and they wouldn't be bringing him to SEC Media Days, in my opinion, if he wasn't 100% healthy. But, I mean, you have those 3 guys coming back, and I think Quay is 100%. Keon, that's probably, I would be curious to find out where Keon is in the comeback, but I think he'd probably be 100%. I don't know that for sure, but Deontay, pretty close that he's 100% for sure. That's a good schedule. All right, one more team to go over, and then we'll move into Bama. But I want to cover each of the teams throughout this week. So this is kind of be the show format through Thursday, why we cover that. We don't often talk about other teams here, but I think this is a good jumping point because we're talking some college football. All these teams besides Ole Miss today are on Alabama's schedule. So you have Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, right? 16-33 overall, but 7-6 last year, including a win against the Alabama Crimson Tide. They returned Diego Pavia, 2,200 yards. They have some good components coming back on the defensive side. Look, Vanderbilt punched Alabama in the mouth last year, okay? Diego Pavia, he's back. He fought the NCAA about extra year in the NCAA from junior college, so they granted him another year, which actually worked out well for Alabama too because Alabama was able to bring back Justin Jefferson. How serious are we taking Vanderbilt this year? I mean, do you think that this team, again, is going to punch above their weight? It seems like this is going to be a pesky team once again because they do have NIL, right? I don't know. I mean, I think they have some good components coming back, specifically that tight end. If you played the NCAA college football game, that tight end that they have is an absolute monster. He must have caught, I think he caught like 12 passes against me. All right, Jay Level Sports says, Kyle, who do you think that whoever is a starting quarterback is, how far do you think the team will be? Whoever starting quarterback is how, when I think about the quarterback position, I mean, I really just, I focus on what Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb have said, and I'm sure the quarterback position will be, everyone will want to know again on Wednesday about the quarterback competition. That's it, right? And Coach Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, I would imagine, can only say the same things that they've said since spring football, is that if they had a game tomorrow, Ty Simpson would be the starter. I mean, what else can they say? I mean, we haven't even started practice yet. They'll start practice at the end of the month. But I think they're going to let Ty, do his thing. And that's not a bad thing because you have to believe in the guy that the coaches put out there. And they have all the players on offense. This is a team that has a lot of experience coming back. I'm talking about Alabama. But before I do that, and I'm going to talk about a couple other things regarding Alabama. We're about to get there in 2 seconds. But kind of SEC Media Days, out of the teams that we highlighted today, who do you think's the top quarterback not of the entire SEC, just of the teams that we covered today? Nussmeier, Sellers, Simmons, Pavia. Who's the best quarterback out of the 4 that are listed on the screen? See, and this is going to be one of the questions that keeps coming up too. What's up, Case? I love that avatar, by the way. Kyle, at what point do you think we'll see Keelan Russell get snaps? I mean, I don't want to throw any like rat poison out there, but you look at Alabama's schedule, and depending on what happens early on against Louisiana Monroe in that first game of the season, I think that you'll see Keelan Russell and Austin Mack play earlier in the season. I really do. I think we're in a world of college football where you have to get these guys developed. You have to get these guys opportunities. You have to make them feel part of the team. There's no longer just sit and develop behind the scenes. And it's important that these guys get on the field. So I think that we'll see Keelan Russell probably week 2. Yeah, Dan Carraway's, I'm with you, bro. And regarding the poll that I just asked, I'm gonna go with Sellers, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Look, I feel that for whatever reason, I'm looking at this on how these guys would play Alabama. Garrett Nussmeier did absolutely 0 against Alabama last year. They played at home. They played a defense that, I don't know if they had completely found themselves at that point. They started playing, they played great in that game, but Nussmeier did nothing. Now, he has a lot of weapons coming back, but I thought he totally underperformed. Sellers is a problem. I think he's underrated still. Austin Simmons, I think he's really good too. I can't wait to see what he does with Lane. And then Pavia is just a problem. I mean, it's like he's a problem. So I think Lenora Sellers 1, Nussmeier 2, and then the other 2 maybe a tie. I think Simmons would be really good. I'll probably put him at 4th just because he doesn't have the experience. But Pavia is a gamer. Plus, Pavia has it here in his heart. The guy is just a competitor. And I guarantee you, he's 0% scared of playing against Alabama. 0%. I don't think he cares about Alabama. I think that he feels that he can punch them in the face again. This guy has beaten Auburn on the road. He beat Alabama at home. The guy, he'll talk. But, I mean, he's beaten the 2 Alabama teams in the last 2 years. So that's facts. He's a problem. My next question is, who do you think will be the best team out of the 4 that I showed you right here? That we talked about today, that's at the podium today, SEC Media Days. Who do you think will be the best team out of these? Or let's say, I guess the best team. I don't want to say like record. LSU, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt. Let's say we throw all these teams into a room. Who comes out as the top dog? That would be one. I mean, that's a good tournament. How about LSU versus Vanderbilt, South Carolina versus Ole Miss? A lot of people picking South Carolina. See, I might pick South Carolina right now, but just wait to see where South Carolina is in the SEC media rankings. I bet you they're going to be like 6th. I think that's a good question. I don't know. Clearly, it's between LSU and South Carolina. I'll go with, oh man, this is tough. I think it'll be tougher for Alabama to play on the road against South Carolina, but I think the better overall team will be LSU. So I'm going to do LSU final answer with the tougher game for Alabama being South Carolina because the game is on the road. We got Jay Boogie voting on Ole Miss. So same thing about J. Cole. I don't know if you're voting for them, but talking about, and this is, look, people are overlooking Ole Miss, period. Nobody's talking about them. That's how it's going to be. Patriot Live, what's up, brother? All right. Last time, Alabama Treat Side Camo Script A-Patch is the raffle today. We'll do a big ticket item on Wednesday. Try to spin the pinwheel tomorrow on Tuesday. Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Even if you're watching on the pinwheel, on the rewatch, know that you can get in. Bama hater, if you want to jump in, bro, we'll send you, and you win, we'll send you like a Miami hat. Same thing with you, JTL, if you want to get in. Well, where is JTL? Well, I guess he's with his LSU peeps because LSU at the podium today. All right, some updated heights and weights for Alabama football has been released, okay? So, Batua Henry on the left, right, the bandit position player. You know, he's an interesting player. He was banged up during the springtime, came in. I love this kid's game, okay? Came in from 248. Now he's weighing 268 pounds. It's plus 20. He's super talented. Probably one of the more underrated guys on the defense, right? So check him out. Look up when you watch his highlights, he played he's an edge rusher, but I think he'll be moved into bandit. Super, super talented. Patriot Life, what's up, bro? Get you inside the raffle as well, man. Try to make you 2 for 2. Good to see you, Patriot Life. Hope you're off to a good Monday. This next guy right here, I would say, look, Marshall Pritchett. $235 pounds to 248 pounds. So one thing that I don't have listed on the screen is that Pritchett is 6'6", okay? And he played wide receiver at high school. He played tight end. Look, he was banged up. This guy's already suffered 2 injuries since he got here on campus. I would keep watching this guy. His athleticism, a lot of people don't know about this guy. He who just got here. He's a freshman, true freshman. We've been looking for that kind of dynamic tight end. Maybe he's the dark horse, okay? Marshall Pritchett, 250 pounds, and the dude has some wheels, okay? Name to know. You got Jackson Lloyd, 310 to 318. He's another freshman from California, an offensive lineman that we're really excited about. The coaches had really good things to say about him in his developmental process. And then you got Cam Dewberry on the far right, who will play probably left guard and be the starter for Alabama. He's at 332 pounds. He came to Alabama from Texas A&M. So, Chad Kennedy, I got your Cash App as well, bro. And Joe Crooms, what's up, man? Got you on. Thanks for the super, man. Always a good supporter of the show, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, both of you guys. Again, the raffle, Bama _ YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. We'll spin it tomorrow, and then we'll have our big ticket item Wednesday and spin that either at the end of Wednesday's show and Thursday. And I'll have some evening shows as well tonight or this week, along with probably streaming some of the continuation of my dynasty. All right. Another player that popped up that this image, I think this is from AL.com, pretty sure. Okay, so Jalen Milroe, all the players had their youth football camps. This is cool. And see, you have Jalen Milroe right here. Look, Jalen Milroe is not a small dude. I'm telling you, I've been around him several times, and he's jacked. He's big. He's a big dude, 6'2", 240, 235. I don't know. What do the Seahawks have him officially listed as? Every time I've been around him, he's jacked. Big dude. Okay. This is Keelan Russell. So Keelan Russell, look, the first thing, look, the bicep. Keelan Russell's big. I think that Keelan Russell's 6'3". Jalen Milroe's probably 6'2". The way that the angle, the camera probably has something to do with kind of the height discrepancy. Keelan Russell does not look small here. In fact, I think this is a guy that continues to put on good weight. I think they have him right now at 192 pounds, right? And if you're looking at quarterbacks, Ty Simpson, this is just off the top of my head. I think Ty is like 210. Austin Mack is 230. But listen to this, okay? He's a walk-on here. He's a walk-on quarterback. John Gazzaniga. Remember the guy who came in from California? He's just a walk-on, okay? John Gazzaniga is listed, this is crazy, 6'7", 252 pounds. 6'7", 252 pounds. Do you see that? I spoke to a source, okay? They said that John Gazzaniga will not play quarterback here. This is what my source said. He will not play quarterback here. More than likely, he'll change to tight end. That's what the source told me. Or this is even crazier. He said that he said that he could even move to outside tackle. I promise you. But they were like, he will not play quarterback here. So then I started thinking, I was like, well, what does this look like for the offensive line? Now, and Case, thank you so much, bro. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Case been here for a long time, very devoted, member of Bama Football on YouTube. We appreciate you. He says, bold prediction, Bama and South Carolina rematch in the SEC title game. Oh, I'd love to see it. Southern Red saying several other podcasts, not Bama. Complaining, Southern Red, that Ty Simpson isn't going to media days. I've thought about that. Maybe, look, you have a lot of different options every single year to bring to the SEC media days. I personally probably would have brought him. It's not my team. I would have brought him. Because quarterback is your leader, but maybe he hasn't earned kind of that spot. But then again, I've heard coaches say that he is the leader. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the Alabama's offensive line? Just here's a snapshot. This is just kind of the first team as I see it. Caden Proctor, 6'7", 366. Cam Dewberry, 334. Parker Brailsford, 290 pounds. And look, Parker Brailsford's hair does not go like this. It is like a legitimate like circle fro. Imagine if his hair was like this. It's like roadblocks. Jaden Roberts, 6'5", 327, and then Wilcom Formby to the far right, 6'7", 324. What do you think about this offensive line? Too heavy? Too big? Daniel's worried about the offensive line. I don't know. I think Caden Proctor is at 366. Is that not the right weight? I literally got that from Roll Tide this morning. Max, I think Max was saying he's 380. Can we get a couple more sources to look at that? I saw 366. Whether and you know what? You're like 366, 380. What's the difference? No, there's a difference. If Caden Proctor is 6'7", 380 pounds, that's crazy. I don't know if he's 380 pounds. And there is a difference from 366 to 380. So I don't know. If I need to update it, I will. I'll do a double check after the show. How would you assess your confidence level in the offensive line on a scale of 1 to 10? Like 10, you're like elite. 7, you're like good. All right, let's go. 5, you're like still a little worried about right tackle. Or 3, you're like, you're gassing them up. This is trash. I'm probably going to say, and I'm just talking about this particular 5. Joe Kroom's in at 8.5. I'm probably going to say 7. Okay, because kind of like someone pointed this out. Let me see if I can find it. Someone said okay. Coach Smith says this, and I agree with this. What's up, Coach Smith? I think you have 3 legitimate guys. These are exactly. This is my thought process too. Okay. Because Caden Proctor, come on, super solid, super experienced. He's the guy. Cam Dewberry, okay, we're gonna have to see him in action. Parker Brailsford, guy balled out. I think there was 600 snaps and he only allowed like 1 sack or something like that. Way better than I thought he was going to be. Jaden Roberts, he is very, very talented. He didn't have his best year last year because I think he played at probably like 70% health-wise. Wilcom Formby has to show us on the field that he has improved. He has to show us consistency and performance on the field. None of that means that we don't like him or he's not like a good guy. Dude, there would be nothing better than to have him as the guy from right here in Tuscaloosa. We want to roll with a hometown cat. But we need to see it. And the scary thing is, if he can't get it done at tackle, you start to look at the too deep for the tackle. There's guys with no experience behind him. Remember, and this might make people upset, but these are facts, okay? These are facts. Elijah Pritchett, who transferred to Nebraska, who we didn't like, we didn't think he was good, started over Wilcom Formby. So things can change year over year. Guys can make huge leaps. Huge leaps. Remember, who was it? Seth McLaughlin went from a player that couldn't snap the ball to a player that won the Remington Award for the best snapper in the country with Ohio State. So things change, right? But that's your offensive line right here. And I'd probably say maybe 7 right now, but I need to see it on the field, period. So that's where we're rolling with the show tonight. or today rather, and then news as it happens. So if I see some sound bites or something like that, I'll upload it to the channel. I might piece some things together as regular videos. So keep your head on a swivel for more content, because it's SEC Media Days. Also follow our Facebook channel. I post a lot of, not a lot, but I post, a variety of content on our Facebook channel, which is right. Try to get it inside the comment box, which is right there. So, but this is a good week. I mean, it's Monday, SEC Media Days. There's a lot of content going on. Please follow all the other great content creators out there. They're doing an amazing job. I appreciate you guys being here with me today. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I'll be back tonight. I like to shoot for like the 7 p.m., 8 p.m. window. And I might stream again. I think, who do I have next? I got Tennessee. I beat up on Missouri. So we got to take it to Tennessee. But news as it happens, I'm going to watch some of the SEC Media Day as well. Look for high points. And be back as news happens. But I appreciate you guys being here during the show. I hope you guys had a good show. Thanks for kicking it with Kyle today on this beautiful Monday. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on Monday, July 14th. Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Stay where your feet are at. Stay blessed. Enjoy your beautiful life. Thanks for supporting the raffles. Thanks for supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Talk soon right here on Bama